Hey guys, welcome to my amazing channel. Today we will explore another interesting and popular Nigerian movie by Potter's Picture TV. Stay tuned and don't miss out on all the fun twists and turns. The movie starts with a man, Frank, walking into his house and finding Dave kissing Lucy. Frank is shocked and asks what's going on. Dave explains that he and Lucy have been dating for a while now. Frank insists that this can't happen because Lucy was supposed to be his girlfriend had Dave not interfered. Lucy tells Frank that he's just a friend and that she has no feelings for him. She likes Dave. Frank storms off, claiming it's not over, but Dave reassures Lucy that everything is fine. The next day, while Lucy is jogging, Frank follows her in his car, trying to get her attention. After some conversation, Frank admits he likes her a lot and wants to be with her. However, Lucy refuses, saying that she loves Dave and can't be with him. Later, Frank is seen dropping Lucy off in front of her house. Just as Dave arrives, he asks why Frank is there. Lucy explains that her car broke down, and Frank helped her. Dave isn't happy about this and says that Lucy should have called him instead. He also tells Frank to stay away from Lucy and let them be. Dave takes Lucy's hand and leaves. Frank, feeling frustrated, goes to a bar to drink. While there, he recalls how he first met Lucy and confesses to his friend, Dave, that he loves her and had planned to ask her out, but is confused about how Dave managed to win her over. The following day, Frank speaks to his older sister and asks her to warn Dave to stay away from Lucy. She listens to both Frank and Dave's sides and tells Frank that since Lucy doesn't love him, it wouldn't be wise to force her into marriage, as there would be no peace in such a relationship. The next day, Frank visits his brother, Dave, and apologizes, wanting to make peace. He suggests that they should return to being brothers again. Dave accepts the apology, and they shake hands. Dave even offers to buy wine so they can drink together. The following day, Frank goes to a bar and starts drinking excessively. A lady joins him, and they start competing to see who can drink more. They both get drunk and wake up the next day in Frank's car, with no memory of the night before. Frank asks the lady for her name and number. She gives him her business card and leaves. Frank's sister later asks him about the woman he introduced to the family. She points out that the woman seems older than Frank and wonders how society will react. Frank, however, dismisses her concerns, saying he loves the woman and doesn't care what society thinks. His sister hugs him and wishes him well. 6 months later, Frank and Bella return from their honeymoon in Paris. The family gathers to welcome them, including Dave and Lucy. Later, Lucy talks to Bella outside and asks why they returned early. Bella confides that she has been having multiple miscarriages and that they needed time to heal. Lucy comforts Bella, assuring her that she will have her own child soon, just as she did. Frank, however, seems to still be thinking about his brother's wife, Lucy. He dreams of the two of them enjoying time together. Suddenly, he wakes up and hears crying from the bathroom. Bella is having another miscarriage and bleeding. Olivia, crying, says she doesn't know when it will stop. Frank consoles her. The next day, Bella goes to the hospital for a checkup. After a series of tests, the doctor suggests that IVF would be the best option for her to carry a healthy child. Bella goes to Lucy to share the news. Lucy encourages her to stay positive and assures her that she isn't alone in this. Her whole support system is there for her. Meanwhile, Dave talks to Frank and tells him not to give up. Frank says he feels weak and exhausted as this has been happening repeatedly, but Dave reassures him that they will get through it together. Back at Dave's house, their baby is carried to his room by Lucy's sister after falling asleep in the sitting room. In the room, Dave and Lucy discuss Frank's situation. They both feel sorry for him and even reflect on the time when Frank tried to interfere in their relationship. However, they agree that it's all in the past now, and they wish Frank and Bella well. At Frank's house, he tells his wife, Bella, to calm down, and he suggests that they shouldn't try to have a child again. Bella asks if he is already giving up on them, but Frank insists that he is not. He then makes a comment about already having a child. They both look at each other, but no one says anything further. The situation takes a turn when Frank decides he wants to speak with Dave. In the car, Dave asks Frank if he has made a decision about using aspirin or surrogacy, but Frank gets angry. He asks Dave why he didn't adopt or use surrogacy when he was looking for a child. Frank then demands that Dave give him back his son, asking if he, Frank, is the one who gave birth to Zillion. Dave becomes angry and tells Frank to get out of his car. Frank gets out, warning that Dave will hear from him again. When Frank returns home, he is still angry and goes straight to his room without greeting Bella. Bella comes to speak with him, but Frank tells her he wants to be left alone and then leaves the house. The next day, Frank goes back to Dave's house and demands that Dave give him his son and confess to his wife. Dave tells him to leave, insisting that he doesn't have any children at his house. Frank insists that he has every right to his son and refuses to give up. However, Dave kicks him out of his house. When Frank returns home, Bella asks if she can serve him food, but he refuses. When she asks why he shouted at her earlier, Frank responds angrily. Bella leaves, heartbroken, and Frank tries to follow her, but she doesn't respond. The next day, Frank invites Lucy's sister, Olivia, to bring Zillion to him, promising to buy her anything she wants. Olivia asks why he didn't ask Dave, but Frank says he wants to surprise Zillion. Olivia agrees and leaves, with Frank telling her he will contact her when he's ready. That night, Bella drinks a potion given to her by a friend, a spiritual healer. When Frank comes out of the bathroom, Bella tries to initiate intimacy, but Frank refuses. He says that he's no longer trying and that it's time to claim what's rightfully his. Bella asks what that means, but Frank says she will know when the time comes. Bella later goes to see Dave and asks him to speak to Frank on her behalf. She says that Frank has been acting differently lately and has been talking about a child. Dave is surprised, but calms down and agrees to stop by later. After hearing that Frank has been talking about a child, Dave doesn't say much, but later reflects on it and cancels all his appointments for the day. That night, Bella tries again to get closer to Frank, but he says he wants to get their child back so he can call her mom. Bella asks if he has a son outside, and Frank finally tells her that Zillion is his son. Bella pulls away, shocked, trying to process what he just said. The next day, Olivia tries to take Zillion to meet Frank, but Lucy shows up and takes the boy back. When Lucy's sister asks if she's going out, Olivia lies and says she is just trying on her outfit. Later that day, Frank meets Olivia and is angry at her for not bringing Zillion as promised. He tells her to leave. The next day, Lucy calls Dave and tells him that she wants to bring him lunch. After confirming that Olivia is not at home, Dave asks who is taking care of Zillion, and Lucy says that Frank took him out for ice cream. Dave becomes angry and asks why Lucy would let Frank take their child. Lucy is confused, saying Frank is family and it's normal. Dave calls Frank repeatedly, but Frank ignores the calls. When Dave arrives at Frank's house, he finds Zillion and takes him, threatening Frank never to touch his son again, as they had already made an agreement. Frank refuses to accept that, saying he was wrong before, but not anymore. Dave leaves, still angry, but Frank remains furious. Later, Olivia tells Frank that she still wants her own child, but Frank insists that Zillion is their child too. The next day is supposed to be Zillion's birthday, and everyone is celebrating. However, Zillion suddenly goes missing. Dave becomes upset, but no one knows where he is. Eventually, they find Zillion sitting outside alone. When Dave asks where he was, Zillion says that Uncle Frank brought him there. While everyone continues to eat cake, Frank and Dave start arguing again, attracting everyone's attention. Finally, the truth is revealed. It was Frank's sperm that was used for Lucy's child, since Dave cannot have children. Lucy is shocked and asks why Frank's sperm was used instead of an anonymous donor. Dave admits that they used Frank's sperm because they are brothers. While Frank and Bella are on their way home, Bella tells him that she doesn't want to be involved in the drama anymore and wants her own child. Frank disagrees, saying that he will get back his son instead of being with them. Back at Dave's house, Lucy is ignoring him because he kept the truth from her for all those years. Dave explains that Frank offered to help, which is why he agreed. However, Lucy disagrees. She believes that Dave should have known better, especially after she chose him over Frank, and he shouldn't have made the mistake of using Frank in this way. The next day, Frank goes to pick up Zillion from school without informing his parents. When Lucy's sister, Olivia, arrives home and tells Lucy that Zillion is missing, they both panic and try to call Dave. When Dave and Lucy arrive at Frank's house, Frank refuses to let them take Zillion, and a fight breaks out between the two brothers. Dave leaves, saying he will call the police. As they leave, Frank tells Olivia to pack up and follow him, but Olivia refuses, saying it would be considered kidnapping, and she doesn't want to be involved. Frank leaves anyway with Zillion, ignoring Olivia's attempts to stop him. The family is very angry at Frank's actions. Dave calls the police, and they search Frank's house but find no one. The gate man informs them that Frank left with Zillion the day before. Back home, Big Sis is very angry, and everyone is worried about where Frank could have taken Zillion. They try calling Frank, but he doesn't pick up, and when they call Bella, she says she doesn't know where he is. The whole house is tense. Olivia prays for Zillion's safe return and for peace between the brothers. Dave and Lucy argue about what to do next. Dave suggests hiring a lawyer, but Lucy thinks it won't help because if they request a DNA test, it will confirm that Frank is Zillion's biological father. Dave refuses to give up. The next day, Frank calls Bella and begs her to join him with Zillion. Bella refuses, saying that Zillion will never be his child or call him father because Dave and Lucy are his real parents. Frank disagrees, but Bella then tells him she is pregnant, offering a chance to start fresh. Frank expresses doubt, mentioning that after 6 miscarriages, he's unsure if it will work out. Bella asks where he is so she can join him. Meanwhile, Dave is still searching for Zillion. He calls Lucy to reassure her that he will find their child. Lucy tells him that he should be focused on finding their baby, as she won't allow anyone to take him away from her. While in the kidnapper's care, Zillion manages to escape and runs away. However, he gets hit by a car and is rushed to the hospital. The police are called to check on the boy who was found. Back home, Bella is packing to leave, saying she can't stay with Frank anymore, but Frank begs her not to go. He pleads, saying he just wants a family and a child to call him father. Zillion wakes up at the hospital and calls out for his dad. Dave rushes to him, and Frank apologizes to his sister for his actions, promising not to cause trouble between the brothers again. He vows to be on his best behavior. Big Sis also apologizes to Bella for supporting her stubborn brother. Lucy, Olivia, and Dave later arrive with Zillion, and they are all warmly received by Big Sis. Frank apologizes to Dave, promising never to do it again. Dave says it's okay and that he doesn't hold grudges against his younger brother. The two brothers hug and promise to behave properly from now on. Months later, Frank and Bella are talking and enjoying their time together. Bella is heavily pregnant, and they jokingly talk about names for their unborn child. Suddenly, Bella's water breaks. Frank rushes to take her to the hospital, where she gives birth to a set of twins. It's a beautiful ending for both of them. Love can be very dangerous if not with the right person. It affects our thinking and changes everything about us if we don't make the right choices. However, no matter what, we shouldn't let love come between siblings. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to this amazing channel. Stay tuned for more interesting, captivating, and educational Nigerian movies from us. See you next time.